In the first chapter of the book of Jubilees, a momentous event unfolds in the backdrop of the 50th Jubilee. Israel, having recently departed from the clutches of Egypt, finds itself in the wilderness, a place where the boundaries of time seem to blur. It is here that Moses, the chosen leader of the Israelites, ascends the sacred Mount Sinai to commune with the God of Israel. The divine encounter is unlike any other, for it occurs within the framework of an all-knowing perspective. The God of Israel, who had already set the stage by choosing Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and their descendants as his people, speaks from a vantage point that transcends time itself. He acknowledges the forthcoming transgressions of Israel, fully aware of the trials and tribulations that lie ahead. Despite this foreknowledge, the God of Israel reassures his chosen people that he has not forsaken them. He stands with Israel ready to impart the Torah and the laws that will shape their destiny. Remarkably, this covenant is established even before Israel reaches the promised land or receives the comprehensive code of the laws, statutes, and commandments. With a sense of profound anticipation, the God of Israel proceeds to unveil the laws of the land. He knows that Israel will stumble, that they will follow after false gods and bow down before them. He foresees the violations of the very covenant he is establishing. He understands the human propensity for forgetfulness and the allure of foreign influences. Yet, despite this knowledge of the trials and tribulations that await Israel, despite knowing that they will forget his commandments, walk in the ways of the Gentiles, serve other gods, and face trials and afflictions, the God of Israel remains steadfast. Here in the wilderness, he lays the foundation for a people who will falter, stumble, and err. He provides them with the divine guidance that they will later forsake, knowing full well the consequences that will follow. In this extraordinary moment, the God of Israel stands with his people, preparing to bestow upon them the laws that they will break, the offenses that they will commit, and the lessons that they will learn throughout their vigorous journey. This is the beginning of a profound covenant, one that will test the faith and resilience of Israel, yet ultimately lead to their redemption. The wilderness echoes with the divine wisdom that will shape the destiny of a nation, a wisdom that knows both the fall and the rise of his chosen people. And it came to pass in the first year of the exodus of the children of Israel out of Egypt, in the 3rd month, on the 16th day of the month, that Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying,
Come up to me on the mountain, and I will give you 2 tables of stone of the Torah and of the commandment which I have written, that you may teach them.
And Moses went up into the mountain of Yahweh, and the splendor of Yahweh abode on Mount Sinai, and a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. And he called to Moses on the 7th day out of the midst of the cloud. And the appearance of the splendor of Yahweh was like a flaming fire on the top of the mountain. And Moses was on the mountain 40 days and 40 nights. And Yahweh taught him the earlier and latter history of the division of all the days of the Torah and the testimony. And he said,
Incline your heart to every word which I shall speak to you on this mount, and and write them in a book in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all the evil which they have wrought in transgressing the covenant which I established between me and you for their generations this day on Mount Sinai. And thus it will come to pass, when all these things come upon them, that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and in all their actions, and they will recognize that I have been truly with them. And do write for yourself all these words which I declare unto you this day, for I know their rebellion and their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham and to Isaac and to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give a land flowing with milk and honey. And they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange gods, to gods, which cannot deliver them from out of their tribulation, and this witness shall be heard for witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after the Gentiles, and after their uncleanness, and after their shame, and will serve their gods. And these will prove unto them an offense, and a tribulation, and an affliction, and a snare. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive, and will fall into the hands of the enemy, because they have forsaken my ordinances, and my commandments, and the festivals of my covenant, and my Shabbats, and my Kodesh place which I have hallowed for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle, and my sanctuary, which I have hallowed for myself in the midst of the land, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and groves and graven images, and they will worship each his own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to demons, and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them, that I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also, and they will persecute those who seek the Torah, and they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. And I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them into the hand of the Gentiles for captivity, and for prey, and for devouring, and I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the Gentiles. And they will forget all my Torah, and all my commandments, and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new months, and Shabbats, and festivals, and Jubilees, and ordinances. And after this, they will turn to me from amongst the Gentiles with all their heart, and with all their soul, and with all their strength, and I will gather them from amongst all the Gentiles, and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them, when they seek me with all their heart, and with all their soul. And I will disclose to them abounding shalom of righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness, with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for blessing and not for curse, and they shall be the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will dwell with them, and I will be Yahweh their sovereign ruler, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them nor fail them, for I am Yahweh their sovereign ruler.
And Moses fell on his face, and prayed, and said, O Yahweh, my sovereign ruler, do not forsake your people and your inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts, and do not deliver them into the hands of their enemies, the Gentiles, lest they should rule over them and cause them to sin against you. Let your mercy, O Yahweh, be lifted up upon your people, and create in them an upright spirit, and let not the spirit of Belial rule over them, to accuse them before you, and to ensnare them from all the paths of righteousness, so that they may perish from before your face. But they are your people and your inheritance, which you have delivered with your great power from the hands of the Egyptians. Create in them a clean heart and a Kodesh spirit, and let them not be ensnared in their sins from henceforth until eternity. And Yahweh said to Moses,
I know their contrariness and their thoughts and their stiff-neckedness, and they will not be obedient till they confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. And after this, they will turn to me in all uprightness, and with all their heart, and with all their soul. And I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart, and the foreskin of the heart of their seed. And I will create in them a Kodesh spirit, and I will cleanse them so that they shall not turn away from me from that day unto eternity. And their souls will cleave to me and to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments. And I will be their Abba, and they shall be my children. And they also be called children of the living Yahweh. And every Malach and every spirit shall know, yes, they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their Abba in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them. And do you write down for yourself all these words which I declare unto you on this mountain, the first and the last, which shall come to pass in all the divisions of the days in the Torah and in the testimony and in the weeks and the Jubilees unto eternity, until I descend and dwell with them throughout eternity.
He said to the Malach of the presence, write from Moses from the beginning of creation till my sanctuary has been built among them for all eternity. And Yahweh will appear to the eyes of all, and all shall know that I am the sovereign ruler of Israel, and the Abba of all the children of Jacob, and king on Mount Zion for all eternity. And Zion and Jerusalem shall be Kodesh. And the Malach of the presence, who went before the camp of Israel, took the tables of the divisions of the years, from the time of the creation of the Torah, and the testimony of the weeks of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, according to all of the number of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, from the day of the new creation, when the heavens and the earth shall be renewed, and all their creation, according to the powers of the heaven, and according to all the creation of the earth, until the sanctuary of Yahweh shall be made in Jerusalem on Mount Zion. And all the luminaries be renewed for healing, and for shalom, and for blessing, for all the elect of Israel, and that thus it may be from that day and unto all the days of the earth.